them after they read them, and we're like, even if you didn't need that, maybe I did.
Yeah.
One minute. Till 7.
Okay.
I gotcha. Thank you.
How'd that turn out?
It's cute.
Nice. Very nice.
Y'all looking all athletic.
WJBF Live Viper 6. It's another clean sweep of the CSRA. The rain has moved on out. You're watching WJBF News Channel 6, where you get your most accurate forecast first. As we get through today, 40s, 60s, and then 68 degrees by 4 o'clock.
Now on Good Morning Augusta, a jubilant morning for many after the capture of the Boston Marathon bombing suspect. The crowd applauding, "We are Boston."
Live from Television Park, in high definition, the station you count on. This is WJBF News Channel 6. Good morning, Augusta.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Archith Seshadri. This morning, one of the 2 suspects in the Boston Marathon bombings is waking up in a hospital bed. Police took him into custody yesterday after a dramatic manhunt. We go right now to Marcy Gonzalez live in Boston with the very latest. Marcy, good morning.
Good morning. The suspect shot at police as they closed in and said nothing as they took him into custody. His capture bringing some comfort to this community this morning. Thank you. Celebration and relief. The second suspect in the Boston Marathon bombings off the streets and in custody. 19-year-old Johar Tsarnaev was found hiding in a boat in a yard in Watertown, Massachusetts last night, arrested after Boston and its suburbs were put on a day-long lockdown. More than 1 million residents told to stay inside as SWAT teams went door to door searching for the suspect.
It's unbelievable. You know, I was cooped up in my house for the last almost 24 hours, just wondering if the guy was in my backyard, if he was, in my garage or in my neighborhood.
And he was cowering, bleeding after a shootout with police hours earlier that left his accused co-conspirator, his 26-year-old brother Tamerlan, dead. Investigators say they tracked the pair down after they executed an MIT officer, then led police on a wild chase. Tsarnaev, an ethnic Chechnyan and U.S. citizen who's lived here for more than a decade, got away, but not for long. His arrest praised by the president.
We've closed an important chapter in this tragedy.
And by this community, still in mourning.
It brings a sigh of relief, and I think that it really allows us to start the healing process.
And the suspect is hospitalized this morning, but we've learned the FBI has asked hospital officials not to release any details about his condition, so we still don't know if the FBI has been able to question the suspect about his motive. Live in Boston, Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News. Now back to you.
All right, Marcy, thank you so much for that update. As the dramatic events were unfolding last night, we spoke with some people in Boston, including a woman who lived in Watertown, just blocks away from where all that gunfire erupted earlier on Thursday night. And she said SWAT teams and officers were out there on full force, and she said it even looked really scary to look outside the window. We also caught up with a graduate student from Augusta who's at Leslie College in Boston. She says the entire city of Boston and the areas around Watertown and Cambridge were entirely quiet.
I don't have a TV. A lot of people my age don't have a TV. This is how we find our news. And so there's been a lot of communication that way. It's crazy. I keep reading all this stuff online, and I keep having to remind myself that I'm here, that this is going on right around me, and I was right there on Monday.
And new this morning, as many people across the world are breathing a sigh of relief. And here right at home, Augustans are getting ready to raise money for a lot of those Boston Marathon victims. News Channel 6's Ashley Bridges is out of the Augusta market live right now this morning. Ashley, this morning's run is all about helping and remembering some of those victims.
Archith, it is. All across the country, people are channeling their grief and their fear into ways to help those victims. And I'm here with one of WJBF's own, somebody all of you recognize, our own Chris Kane, to hear about what's happening right here in Augusta and how you can help. And Chris, Augusta's runners, they aren't giving up either.
No, runners in this town are some of the most loyal people I know, some of my best friends. And when the tragedy occurred on Monday, got in touch with a few of my good running friends and Heather DeChico from the 888 Run Group that runs here every Saturday morning at the Augusta Market. And we wanted to do something, so we came up with the Run for Boston, a 2.5-mile run or walk. And there's no registration fee. It's open and free to the public. We're asking you to come down right now. All you have to do is show up. Simply make a donation. We're giving away red wristbands and headbands. You make a $5 donation, you get the wristbands. If you want to donate more, we'll throw in the headband as well. And when the tragedy occurred on Monday, EMT officials tagged the victims with these red wristbands. So it's a very significant thing that we wanted to give away today.
And that's a way to remember to make a difference. And you can come out here, you can show your support, even if you can't run. I'm not a great runner. You don't need to be. You just need to come show your support and give your donations and make a difference for Boston. Archith, we look forward to seeing you back out here in just a few minutes with somebody who was actually at the Boston Marathon and is now running here.
All right, Ashley, thank you so much for that. We'll check in with you soon. And just again, a reminder, the 888 Run for Boston starts in less than an hour this morning at 8 o'clock. This is again at the downtown Augusta Market. That's on 8th and Reynolds. The 2.5-mile run marks the time the Bobs went off in Boston at 2:50 p.m. this past Monday. And as Ashley mentioned, even if you are not a runner, it's okay. They are leaving some time for those who want to walk, and they are accepting donations. All of that will be going to victims and their families in Boston. And a local group needs your help to support our nation's heroes. The Augusta Warrior Project is trying to raise more than $300,000 to continue the program that helps vets transition back into civilian life. WJBF News Channel 6 will host a telethon to help AWP this Tuesday, April the 23rd, and you can donate from 6 in the morning until 8 in the evening. Jason Appy is in the forecast center now with your weather on the 6s. And Jason, it's a chilly start this morning. You know, definitely feels a little bit cooler, not like spring like the past couple of mornings this past week.
It sure is. 706, 46 degrees. The rain has moved out of the CSRA. Temperatures are on the chilly side. Certainly a chilly one to start your day, but a good day for a walk or a run, especially down there at the 2.5 walk run. 45 in Augusta, 48 in Evans. Here's the live radar network. That rain has moved to the east offshore of the low country. It is now just moving through Myrtle Beach and Charleston. It will be gone within the next couple of hours. Here's the forecast today. It is a sunny sky all day. Temperatures in the 60s for highs. Nothing close to the 85 that we saw yesterday, Archith. So everyone, when I get outside today, it's a really nice day, a little bit on the cooler side.
Still a good day to go out and run and support all those victims.
Sure is.
Thank you, Jason. Now, what is your comfort food? Your favorite comfort food? Well, George Escala takes us out there somewhere with some local folks and who eat to feel better coming up. One who ran the Boston Marathon this past Monday. Stay tuned for that.
1, 2, 3.
You count. Yeah, is that better?
1, 2, 3.
You have to speak up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to speak loud.
Yeah. Is that all right? Can you hear him? Keep talking. Counter 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Okay,
10.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay.
A little bit louder.
Okay. I don't want to yell.
Who? Him or me? Okay. Go to your right. Love it.
Slide my.
Scooch up a little.
Oh. Ooh.
Thank you. Great. Thank you so much. Oh, I got it. That's okay. Just so they can frame you up, make you look pretty.
Do your best.
Thank you so much.
No, it's no problem. Interesting to see how things work. Yeah.
When we talk, I'm going to cover up with some video.
Okay.
Okay. 30 seconds. And you'll just, tell how you felt, what it's like.
Okay.
Welcome back. Investigators in Boston have captured the second suspect after this week's deadly blast during the Boston Marathon. This all went down last night. Now, around a dozen runners from the Augusta Aiken area were at the Boston Marathon when those bombs went off this past Monday. And joining us now in the studio is one of those runners. Good morning to you, John.
Good morning, Archith.
And this week has been such a dramatic week. You were there on Monday. Describe what it was like to be there and what those moments were. I think your daughter was also there as the spectator.
She was. I had finished about 35 minutes before the bomb went off. I was headed back towards the start line to meet my daughter when I heard the explosion, looked up and saw all the smoke coming from the right side of the finish line. And then I heard the second explosion. At that point, I went to find my daughter. They were not letting me up in the family meeting area where I was supposed to meet her, and they were evacuating at that point. I didn't know exactly what was going on, but they said someone told me there was an emergency and they were evacuating everywhere, so I knew that something bad had happened at that point.
And I understand you also said it sounded like cannons. This was on Patriots Day, so did it really sound like bombs from your vantage point?
It sounded like an old Civil War cannon, maybe some kind of celebratory cannon going off. So I wasn't sure, or maybe a transformer had blown, something like that. So I didn't have any idea until I heard emergency vehicles, people evacuating or being told to evacuate. And so it was about 15 or 20 minutes after I heard the explosion before I met up with my daughter, which I felt confident she was away from the start line, but I still wanted to see her and make sure she was okay.
And we're thank God that everybody from our area, at least nobody was impacted. We do have that run this morning. Now, last night you did watch it this whole week. Have you been watching the coverage, and has it been surreal just to see that you were right there at that moment when it all happened?
It has been. It's been crazy watching the coverage and knowing that I was there when everything happened. And even the night after we went out that night and around the city, there were police, SWAT teams, military everywhere around the city. And so it was quite an experience.
And we're so glad that you're here to share your story. And is it going to stop you from running and going back to the marathon? What's next for you?
No, I'm still continuing to train, and I'll run more marathons. I would go back to Boston in a heartbeat.
Thank you so much for sharing your story, and we appreciate your time, John.
Thank you, Archie.
We'll be heading back out downtown Augusta later on, where Ashley Bridges is live as runners are getting ready to raise money for those Boston Marathon victims this morning. Stay with us.
Nearly a record high yesterday of 85 degrees. But today it'll be much cooler. How that forecast next.
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Say goodbye to the rain. Say hello to cooler temperatures headed our way this weekend. We'll be dry this weekend, cold tonight, and a cool couple of days as we see temperatures dropping into the 30s and 40s tonight and only 60s and 70s for highs. Here are the clouds moving off the coast of the Georgia-Carolina coast. As the satellite and radar the past couple of hours, we'll see the sun coming up and being a beautiful day as we say goodbye to that rain. 45 degrees currently at Bush Field. Northwest wind around 3 miles per hour. It's a lot cooler, about 40 degrees cooler than it was at 85 yesterday. Right now we're seeing those cooler air temperatures coming in from north and west. Crawfordville at 37 degrees right now, and here it is on the two-state, 30s and 40s northwest, 50s where the clouds are for the low country. I want to show you the dew points that measures our moisture in the air, and the drier air, this 30s and 40s for dew points, that shows that that rain is moving off the coast and that drier air is working in. So we will see plenty of sunshine today in the forecast as the satellite and radar shows that rain pushing off Charleston, Myrtle Beach, and south of Savannah. That nice clearing line coming into the CSRA, or at least western counties of the CSRA, over the next couple of hours. So here's the high pressure entering. That storm moves off the coast, and then we look to the west, and we have this high keeping us dry. A lot of clear conditions off to the west. We are not going to see any rainfall today or this weekend. A very low chance, lower than 25% tomorrow. So I left it out of the forecast. Here's the forecast today on the cool side. Only upper 60s to near 70 for a high today. That is it. It's going to be about 15 to 17 degrees cooler than it was yesterday. So much cooler as high pressure moves in. We stay dry for your Sunday. A beautiful day. Getting ready to head to church on your Sunday morning. You will not need the umbrella like it was last weekend, a little bit on the wet side. Pleasant conditions into your Sunday night, into Monday morning. Here's a very small chance. Call it a 25%, really have a sprinkler or two. I left it out of the forecast tomorrow as we see those dry conditions continue right on through Monday morning. 68, sunny and cool today. 64 for the evening, clear and cool. Northeast wind will be light for the overnight. That's a chilly one, 39. Crank that heat up for a night or two as we see temperatures in the low temperatures, 30s and 40s, but daytime highs around 70 for Sunday and Monday. See low 70s in the forecast, and then for Tuesday we warm up to 73. Wednesday and Thursday 79 with only a 25% chance of a couple of showers. Getting back up to average. It's going to take a few days though. It's just a little bit, feels kind of like spring is certainly in the air, the first part of spring.
It goes back and forth, right? I always say this. It goes back and forth. You know, kind of gets warm, and then I'm excited, then it gets a little bit cooler, but still a great day to go out and do that run and support all those victims in Boston today. So
it's a great day for Boston. It's a great day for America.
Absolutely. Well, now to moving to a lighter story this morning. His name is Macintosh, and he needs a home. There he is. Take a look. Macintosh the duck and his humans from Florida. They're all trying to find him a good home by making an adoption video that's now gone viral.
Macintosh grew up with a lot of love and care from his owners, but sadly, his owners are about to move to Hawaii, and they feel it's important to get a good home.
Yeah, people who are interested, they tell him that he makes a very unique adoption, and the nearly 7-minute long video tells Macintosh's story.
7 minutes, nice. People who are interested in adopting him can search for him on YouTube. Just go to Adopt Macintosh the Muscovy Drake.
I hear you need a roommate, so there's one right there. Just search for it.
I've
already got one, so I'm sorry.
Really?
Sorry, Macintosh.
So that's too bad.
Oh, well, rain wiped away most sporting events in the CSRA yesterday.
It sure did. And coming up, we'll have Tom Wiley with a full list of updates in sports.
Now, sports coverage you can count on.
Day 2 at the RBC Heritage, where the wet weather meant a lot of high scores through one round. Everyone chasing England's Brian Davis, who hit 8 birdies in his final 14 holes on Thursday. But right off the bat, Davis struggling. Hit his second shot on the 15th hole to that spot right there. I think that will be a drop there. Pouring gasoline onto the fire. He hits this one into the bunker. He would bogey to go to 4 under. The weather wreaking havoc all over the place. Mark Leishman, the Australian, second shot to par 4 from the trees. And he hits a female fan in the stands. He went to check on her, gave her a glove to smooth things over. Leishman bogeyed to fall to 4 under at that point. Here's your leaderboard. Charlie Hoffman and Kevin Streelman, they're your co-leaders through 36 holes. Bill Haas and Luke Donald, 1 shot back. Aiken Scott Brown with the low score among local guys. 5 birdies for Friday 68. He's 4 shots back. Former Augusta State Jaguar Henrik Norlander, he's good for 2 under. Augusta's Charles Howell III, well below the cut line, but everyone chasing Charlie Hoffman.
I sort of plugged my way around the golf course today, didn't make a bunch of putts, and then birdie the last 2 was obviously a good feeling going into the weekend.
Some baseball now. Game 2 between the Braves and the Pirates. Early on here, Wandy Rodriguez getting some defensive help. BJ ups and chops that one to third with Pedro Alvarez. Nice barehanded play, guns him down. That one is very close, though. Bottom of the second, man on third for Alvarez. Takes Tim Hudson deep to right. That will clear the benches, and that is a 2-run homer for Pittsburgh. Top of the 7th, we go 6-0 Pirates. Rodriguez strikes out Upton. BJ doesn't like the call, gets in the face of umpire Sam Holbrook, and he doesn't want to hear anything. Upton gets the boot, and the Braves fall 6-0. And that'll do it for your morning sports update. Be sure to join us for a lot more at 6 o'clock. Archith and Jason, back to you guys.
All right, Tom, thank you so much for that update. Now let's take a look at this morning's Did You See That? Let's take a look. Is it a bird or is it a plane? Well, it's definitely not Superman. It's a guy with wings zooming through a hole they call the Bat Cave.
And that's in a Spanish mountain, and a 27-year-old Alexander Poli had a goal to fly through it wearing a wingsuit. He jumped out of a helicopter and flew at top speed. Now only about 150 miles per hour towards the mountain. Yeah, it's just a buck 50.
Oh my God. He was aiming for that 20 by 20 foot hole. He calls the Bat Cave. There he goes through it. Oh my God. He made the attempt only once, and it was certainly a hole in
that's
one.
That's the kind of thing you probably want to do just one time.
Can't really practice that.
But you want to do that one time.
Oh, God.
You don't want to do that. Take that twice.
I wouldn't even do that once. I don't know how he did it. Even kudos to that guy. That's amazing. That
Right.
he did that.
But if he did it twice, I don't think he would. You see what I'm getting at?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's true. He might.
So.
Amazing feat there. Very good accomplishment. Congratulations to him. I always wanted to fly when I was a little kid, but I don't know. After seeing that, I think I'm okay not having any superpowers.
Yeah, I'm scared of heights, so either way, I'll leave it to the comic books and to that man.
Superman, Batman, you guys take it.
Yeah.
Well, people in Boston are breathing a sigh of relief this morning as suspect number 2 was taken into custody yesterday night. Now, but the investigation isn't over just yet. Details coming up. Plus, how the IRS is helping out the victims of the Boston Marathon. We'll have the details.
Yeah, I gotcha. And I'm actually going to have two people that I'm talking to in the next hit. One is Tina Stutt, and the other is Barb Rose. Tina has on a hat, and Barb does not.
WJBF Live Viper 6. It's a clean sweep of the CSRA. Rain has moved on out. You're watching WJBF News Channel 6, where you get your most accurate forecast first. As we get through today, warming up into the 50s, 60s, and then the upper 60s by 4 o'clock with a north wind around 6.
Live from Television Park in high definition, the station you count on. This is WJBF News Channel 6. Good morning, Augusta.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Good Morning Augusta, and thank you for staying with us. I'm Archith Seshadri. Time now is 7:30 this morning. Folks are breathing a sigh of relief in Watertown, Massachusetts, as the second suspect in the Boston Marathon bombings has been captured. Stacey Cohen has this morning's big story.
It's a night where I think we're all going to rest easy.
And with that, the massive statewide manhunt is over. Jahar Zanayev is in custody. The chase culminating in the backyard of a Watertown, Massachusetts home. The 19-year-old suspect hiding inside a boat. Moments after the news broke, Watertown residents filled the streets, cheering on hundreds of law enforcement officials who successfully tracked down the suspect.
Today, the city of Boston, the city of Cambridge, and the city of Watertown, and many other communities can breathe a sigh of relief knowing that two perpetrators who caused so much pain and anguish are no longer a threat to our personal safety and to our communities.
The other suspect, Zanayev's 26-year-old brother, Tamerlan, was killed after a gunfight with police in the early hours of Friday morning.
We are so grateful to be here right now. We're so grateful to bring justice and a closure to this case.
The good news traveled from Boston to Washington as President Obama offered his congratulations, echoing the spirit of a relieved community.
Whatever they thought they could ultimately achieve, they've already failed. They failed because the people of Boston refused to be intimidated.
So the second suspect is in custody, but the investigation continues. And one of the questions now is, was anyone else involved? The FBI have taken 3 people into custody in nearby New Bedford, Massachusetts. It is unclear at this point what connection they have to this investigation. In Watertown, I'm Stacey Cohen reporting.
And here's a look at the timeline of events from this week. On Monday, April the 15th, 2 bombs went off at the Boston Marathon around 2:50 p.m., killing 3 people. On Wednesday morning, investigators discovered the device they believe was used to make that bomb, that pressure cooker. And then Thursday afternoon, the FBI released photographs and video of the 2 suspects. And around 10:20 that night, shots were fired on the campus of MIT in Boston, and a campus police officer was shot and killed in that gunfire. Shortly after that, suspect number 1 was critically injured and later pronounced dead after a carjacking and another round of gunfire. And throughout the night and into Friday morning, authorities searched the Watertown area for suspect number 2. It was on lockdown. And then last night around 9 o'clock, the second suspect was taken into custody alive. Well, taxpayers impacted by the Boston Marathon bombings are receiving an additional 3 months to file their taxes. The IRS says the extension automatically applies to anyone who lives in Suffolk County, Massachusetts. Now, this includes Boston as well. Anyone else outside that county who was impacted by the bombings can also request to be covered by this extension. Now, this means no payment or fining penalties until July 15th. Now, if you want to help the victims of the Boston Marathon bombings, you have to be careful because there are a lot of warnings that there could be scammers out there looking for some profit from this tragedy. There are several dozen websites and domains that are registered within hours of the deadly attack. One fundraiser set up with a Twitter account minutes after the bombing that claimed to be associated with the Boston Marathon organization. It was quickly shut down. Now, your best bet is to support a well-known national or regional charity. And this morning, there is a local charity that is legitimate, and it's raising money for the Boston Marathon victims. It's 888 Run for Boston. And News Channel 6's Ashley Bridges is live out in downtown Augusta this morning. Ashley, how is it looking? That charity is starting in about 30 minutes now.
Good morning, Archith. We're getting a bigger crowd of people with these red wristbands to support Boston. And I'm here with two very special people now. They were actually running the Boston Marathon, and they're here to run this morning. And can you tell me this morning, take me back to Boston. You finished the marathon. That's a huge accomplishment. And then the unthinkable happened.
Yeah, you know, it's like you're coming down the way, you see the finish line, you're just wanting to put all your effort into it because you know when you get finished, you finish the Boston Marathon. And it's just an enthusiastic feeling that comes over you, and you run through the finish line and you made it, you know. And we were walking down through the corral, and after we got through the corral, that's when we, you know, heard the bombs go off. So yeah, it was just a sad, disappointing time that had to happen at the end of all the enthusiasm that you have.
And I know, though, y'all have managed to channel that into finding a way to support those victims. And you were there, you finished your first Boston Marathon, and you're here this morning. Why is it important that people come out and run and not be afraid and show their support?
Well, I think, first of all, the running community here in Augusta is a very tight-knit community. I don't know, it's probably a few hundred people. We all know each other, feel like it's a family. So I think it's good that we kind of all bond and come together and support each other. I think, you know, we also empathize for the larger running community in general. Again, there's just a big bond when you're a runner. So I know it just shows the heart of this running community to come out here and support and to donate to the families of the victims and the victims themselves.
Thank you so much. And you still have time to get here. We're down at the market. You can come out. If you don't run, walk. Bring $5. Get a wristband. Just show your support. Ashley Bridges, WJBF News Channel 6.
All right, Ashley, thank you so much for that update. We'll check back with you again soon. Time now to check in with meteorologist Jason Nappy. He is in the forecast center. And Jason, how's the weather going to be shaping out this morning for those people that are looking to go down for a run or walk to support those victims in Boston?
It looks great. 7:36, 45 degrees this morning. Great day for running. Great day for America as temperatures are in the 40s right now and the 30s to the west. So it will be dry, though. The rain is gone from yesterday. We will not see the 80s, the mid-80s that we saw yesterday either. So no rain, no mid-80s. A great day for running, and the radar network is nice and dry. The rain has moved off the coast of the low country of Charleston and Myrtle Beach. And here is the forecast today. Plenty of sunshine by 8 o'clock, noon, and 4 o'clock. It will be cooler, a lot cooler than it was yesterday, but all in all, it's a great day to get outside and enjoy yourself, and for a great cause.
Absolutely. I think it's really important that we have so many people here that are so dedicated and doing their part to help those victims so far away. But we're all united, and it absolutely is a great day. So thank you, Jason, for that update. Now, many people are looking, though, for a sense of comfort this week after all these tough national headlines. And one of the quickest ways is to grab a bite at a supermarket. Well, George Escala takes us out there somewhere. Plus, we're heading back out there live with Ashley Bridges on all of the run this morning that starts in about 20 minutes. Stay with us. Coverage you can count on continues this morning with a look around town this Saturday. As our nation remembers those who died in the Boston bombings, a local running group is doing their part to help victims and their families. This morning at the downtown Augusta market, 888 is hosting a special run for Boston. The 2.5-mile run marks the time the first bomb went off in Boston at 2:50 p.m. this past Monday. Donations will be collected for the victims and their families. You can head to our website, WJBF.com, for more information. Another run and walk that's going on today is the 5K. The route begins at Georgia Regents University Amphitheater. That is on the Somerville campus and continues downhill the whole time. Registration just kicked off at 7:30 and the race begins at 8:45 this morning. The 5K helps to prevent sexual violence. Aiken Tech is hosting a summer-fall admissions fair today. It's for prospective students to learn about enrollment and the college itself. Now, if you are interested in the fair, it'll take place in the new Enrollment Services Center at the Ashley J. Little Administration Building from 10 until noon. And at RSVP, you can contact the number on your screen. Aiken Tech is located in Graniteville. And a local fifth grader, children's author, that's right, you heard it right, a fifth grader releasing her first book and is having a book signing this morning. Her name is Tiara Duggar and she attends Heritage Academy in Augusta. She's written a children's book called Flowers Blooming and it's recently released on Amazon.com. She'll have a book signing today at the Diamond Lakes Library in Hephzibah at 11 this morning. Congratulations. And Monday is Earth Day, and the city of Augusta is having its Augusta Living Green Day today. It's a chance for the city to become familiar with local opportunities to become good stewards of our environment. Events will be at the Augusta Common from 10 until 4. They'll have live music, inflatables, painting, and also a lot of good food. And of course, you can learn about recycling and other environmental information. Well, it is the quickest way to feel better in these troubling times. How some locals are getting a little comfort food out there somewhere with George Escalade.
It's a great weekend to head up to the lake. 68 degrees for a high, a little bit breezy outside, but it will be beautiful. The chilly side, a little bit below average. What about your forecast? That's next. Oh, what is that sound?
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Winter is trying to make its way back into the CSRA as we dry things out, and then temperatures tonight drop into the 30s. A cool couple of days in the forecast this weekend. 30s and 40s for lows, only upper 60s and low 70s for highs. That's chilly for mid-April. Here's the clouds moving off the coast from the storm that we saw yesterday, almost a half inch of rain, and temperatures that spiked to 85. Right now it's 45. Look at how chilly it is out. A west-northwest wind bringing that cool air in from the north and the west. Here it is, 30s, McCormick, Crawfordville, Thompson, Augusta at 45, Allendale, South Carolina at 49. Here are the 50s off the coast of South Carolina and Georgia. That is from the rain and the clouds. And now we have that dry, cool weather coming in. Current dew points in the 20s and 30s. That's a very dry air that is approaching the coast, moving from northwest to southeast. And you'll see that here on the satellite and radar. Shows the rain moving from Waycross, Savannah, Charleston, and Myrtle Beach off the coast. The rain ending from northwest to southeast, as I just showed you, from a front that has moved off the coast. So high pressure comes in. That keeps us dry. There's just plenty of dry air off to the west and the Mississippi Valley. That will keep our temperatures on the cool side today, and our conditions remaining dry as just a few clouds the morning hours for Hampton and Orangeburg move to the east, and we will see plenty of abundant sunshine today in the SATRAD forecast. There's no rain and there are no clouds in the forecast at all today. So we'll see great conditions from Saluda all the way down to Swainsboro, to head Crawfordville over to Orangeburg, South Carolina. It's going to be a great day to get out and enjoy yourself here in the CSRA. So look at our forecast today. 68, a sunny sky and cool, much cooler than it was yesterday. Can you believe 85 yesterday? That was the warmest temperature so far this year, and we'll be nowhere near it today. Only the 60s, 64 clear and cool for the evening. Here's the overnight temperature. Crank up the heat. 39, a clear sky and cold, and the next 3 days showing low 70s in the forecast. And that will be it. So we're going to be below average for forecast temperatures, and Live Viper 6 gets us close to 80, and that's back up to average by Wednesday and Thursday. Oh, that's right, weather wisdom. I almost forgot, Archith. It's your favorite time.
For it. Yes,
that's
I'm
right, your favorite time of the day. So the fastest temperature rise ever recorded was 49 degrees in 2 minutes. True or false?
I'm going to say it's true.
That is true, and that is a picture of South Dakota. Wow. Spearfish, South Dakota is where it happened, and that was January 22nd, 1943. That is in the wintertime, and that is courtesy of a very strong warm front that came through South Dakota on that day.
I wouldn't have ever thought South Dakota would pick like Texas or something much warmer than that.
Yeah, well, the temperature was very cold there, and then it got very warm very quickly.
Absolutely. Well, in about 15 minutes, runners in downtown Augusta will be taking off this morning for the 888 Run for Boston.
It's a 2.5-mile run, and donations will be collected for the victims in Boston.
Yeah, and we go right now straight to Ashley Bridges, who is live at the Augusta market right now. Ashley, starting off in about 15 minutes, how are the crowds looking?
Good morning, Archith. I have to admit, it's a little hard to hear you because the crowds are getting so big. We have so many people, so many families coming out to support Boston. And I'm here with Heather DeChico, who is one of the ones who got this started with our Chris Kane. And Heather, so many people were afraid. They were scared. They were confused. And yet you channeled your energy into doing this. Why? Why was it so important to get this started?
Well, I just had a big feeling of I just wanted to do something. You know, what can we do? And then it was, remember the 888 Run is every Saturday morning. Like I said, got on Facebook and started looking around, and everyone kind of had the same feeling. What can we do to get together? And just reached out to people, and as soon as I saw how everyone else was feeling the same way I was, then we just got together and made this happen.
And I can't help but notice we're both wearing red wristbands. You're wearing a bright red headband. What's the significance of that?
Well, we saw on Monday that EMS was tagging everyone in Boston that had been affected in any way, injured, priority people. So we just thought that'd be a really neat way to commemorate and to memorialize, the deceased, as well as show unity with them by wearing red wristbands for today's Run for Boston.
That's a great idea, and thank you so much for putting this together. These wristbands, you can make a donation of $5 and get one. There's no registration fee out here. Just come out, show your support, and give what you can. This money will go to a legitimate fund, to the One Fund in Boston, to help the victims, to help their families. And I know it's getting pretty close, but you've still got time to come out and show your support. In Augusta, Ashley Bridges, WJBF News Channel 6.
All right, Ashley, thank you so much. We appreciate that. And you have 10 minutes if you want to head out there, or they'll be out there. You can make donations. Even if you're not a runner, you can go there and walk and support all those victims in Boston. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. As you know, this week, lots of terrible news across the country, from that explosion in Texas to the Boston Marathon bombings. Can be definitely very stressful.
Yeah, those stories created a lot of stress on people, and it's quite normal to see a reaction. People want to see some comfort.
I know, a lot of people are trying to head out to the grocery store, get some food out there, and that's what George Escalade did. He went out there somewhere with the story.
Angus Spires was on a mission for comfort food.
Snacks is most I got.
Fig Newtons.
Snacking.
So you're stocking up, huh?
Yeah.
Shoppers know in troubling times you can find solace at the grocery store.
When I think of comfort food, I think macaroni and cheese.
Of course, macaroni and cheese. I'm gonna get the family size. Serves 2.5. Better get another.
Ice cream.
Oh, yeah. Lots of choices when it comes to ice cream, but with a name like Snickerdoodle, gotta be good. Here's some peace and harmony over in Hot Foods. What's on the menu, making this day a little better?
Meatloaf, rice, and collard.
Oh, well, meatloaf, that's comfort food.
Yeah.
You gonna share it with me?
Of course not.
What's your favorite comfort food?
My favorite is the chicken tenders.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Right.
Rice cakes.
Mint Oreo cookies.
The Oreo.
But the mint ones.
Has to be mint.
Has to be mint.
So-
Can't be anything else.
Is there going to be a run on them later today?
Probably.
So the last few days haven't been so sweet, but you can ease a little bit of the sadness. There's never too big a hole a little comfort food can't fill. Out there somewhere in Warrenville, George Escala, WJBF, News Channel 6.
Can't go wrong with ice cream, I guess, right? That's my favorite comfort food.
Mine was rice cakes. No, I'm kidding.
Of course it was rice cakes.
No, I'm kidding. That was the bumper of my car tastes better than those rice cakes.
I actually like rice cakes. I don't mind them.
Really?
I don't mind them. But it is true.
I'll go for pizza.
It's been such a sad week, and hopefully this is it. We don't have to report such tragic news for a while.
Yeah.
Well, a huge discovery by NASA coming up.
Yeah, details on 3 planets in the solar system, 3 new ones coming up. Welcome back, everyone. 85 degrees yesterday, only 68 degrees today, well below average. And that continues for the weekend into your work week. Low 70s in the forecast. So it will be a chilly one for sure.
Yeah, we dropped like 15 temperatures in just a day. So crazy.
Yes.
All right, well, 3 new potentially habitable planets in distant solar systems have been discovered. NASA's Kepler telescope just discovered these.
All 3 are inside something called the habitable zone. That's the area near a star like our sun that can theoretically hold liquid water, but the reality is there's no way to find out for sure.
Yeah, the planets are all light years away, and we don't really have the technology to travel there yet. Another planet that could possibly sustain life was discovered back in 2011, and of course they might discover us first. So
That's some science geek stuff. I love that.
Of course you do. Well, that is our report for this morning. Thank you so much for joining us, and don't forget you can make those donations to those Boston victims. Go to our website. Have a great Saturday.
Have a good one.